Whitehaven is home. It's home to me. We're a predominantly black community. We have the most black homeowners. We have the most black businesses. We have the most registered black voters. But then we also have challenges. We have a high poverty rate. A lot of our schools are struggling. A lot of our families and our children are struggling. And that's why Respect the Haven was born, really to amplify the voices and unmute the voices of the people who feel like, they don't have a voice. We have great businesses. We have great black businesses. And some of these businesses, they sit on our Breaking Barriers to Business Council. Respect the Haven, we have a 3-year initiative with the city of Memphis called Breaking Barriers to Business, where we want to address the barriers that our black-owned businesses are facing.
Well, we work with a lot of entities, and we collaborate and we partner with a lot of entities. And we know the numbers, again, about small businesses and how hard it is, especially with the crime that's happening now that is really affecting our businesses and a lot of our small businesses in our Whitehaven community. We are somewhat losing a few businesses, and then again, on the uphill part of it, looking down the path in the near future, we're hoping to continue to build new relationships with small businesses in our communities. The city plays a major role in investing in that, looking into that, partnershiping with that, and making these valuable relationships, making sure that when they come into our communities, these small businesses, and our children are interested in being entrepreneurs, that we give them the tools and the skill set, what they need to press forward and to make it happen.
13 years ago, when we bought this property out of bankruptcy. We bought this property with the idea of converting it and making it into what we call a government center. We put together a program and presented it to the city of Memphis and to Shelby County. And in 2014, got the first allocation to save this particular building because it was on the verge of being torn down. And that is to put a complete new roof on it, do the lighting, change the electrical grid inside, and to take care of the landscaping. And from there, we began to operate on the inside of the building to develop what were stores and convert those stores into offices. Thusly, by attracting those kind of businesses, it would bring to us the kind of clientele we were interested in. Every weekend you come here, you'll find somebody doing something at the Southbrook.
This mall is actually where I grew up, inside of the Southbrook Town Center as well as the Southland Mall. And just being able to come back into those spaces and give back to our little black and brown kids and people that are within our community. So with Brown Skin Yoga goes out into the community. We're in the schools, and I'm teaching students anywhere from pre-K to high school students the yoga practice. I'm teaching athletes. I am teaching MMA fighters. I'm teaching people who have never practiced before. I am teaching people who are confined to chairs and with limited range of mobility. People that are incarcerated, people that are on parole, tapping into a completely different dynamic of group of people that in some instances have been overlooked. Now they feel that they have a common space that I think it's a very phenomenal feeling. We're definitely bringing a different dynamic to the space and to the community. Providing services such as yoga and social emotional learning is very dear to me. So why not have it within my community? And having people to come into the space who always wanted to practice but never thought it was for them. So creating a safe place for them, providing resources for them that they didn't necessarily know benefited them, and just creating a whole vibe. Whitehaven, this is where I grew up. I spent a lot of my childhood here. I went to almost every school in this community. I lived in probably almost every apartment complex, and this is where I wanted my business to be.
Education plays such a major and huge role in development.
Got to start with our number one school, Whitehaven High School. We have, Hillcrest High School, Fairleigh High School. Those were mainly the three high schools when I was growing up. We have A. Maceo Walker Middle School, Robert R. Church Elementary. We have Havenview, Garden View Elementary, John P. Freeman Optional School. So we have great schools.
We know what our numbers look like for third grade reading. And so we're going to have to really step back and get self out of it. Our focus should be on investing in an education system that will take our children to the next level.
Blight and crime, those are, the two main issues that, we want to address through our Safe Neighborhoods initiative that we're about to start. So we know blight and crime go hand in hand. That's like the number one thing that we want to address, blight with the community cleanups and, just working with our elected officials to try to clean up 38116, 38109.
We are really galvanizing and collaborating together, all entities of government. That is our goal. That is part of the mayor's goal, partnership, partnering together to make things happen. Respect to Haven, which is an increment, very important part of the Whitehaven community, just had Steve Morrow, which was very important to get the DA and to see where his mindset is and to see what his strategies are and what we're trying to do to move forward.
We absolutely deserve to feel safe at night going to pump gas. And the fact that we don't is unacceptable. We have absolutely the right to drive along the interstate or any other road and not have to worry about people zipping in and out at 100 miles an hour or doing donuts in the middle of the street. That's unacceptable, and it's got to stop. And I pledge to you that we're going to do everything we can to make it stop, or to at least reduce it as much as we can.
So that's a start, involving the community, because we are the ones that are affected by this crime. Some of our constituents and the community is fearful, and there should not be a sense of fear of anyone, especially a child that's committing a crime. We don't know where this child or what's happening or where it came from to get them where they are. So it's a lot of work, starting with government, the DA, the judges, the Memphis Police, Shelby County Police, every entity that's in this city, we can make it happen.
Whitehaven is the last true neighborhood that's left in the city. And we gotta make sure we take care of it. Because if we don't, we'll be saying, you can see it, it's right there at the teeter. We can go one way or the other. And we need to make sure that we're doing the things that make it stay on the path. Because Whitehaven has a lot to provide and a lot to give. Again, I've been here, went away to go to school and came back. I remember when it was so much, you never had to leave the community. You didn't have to leave Whitehaven if you wanted something. Whatever you wanted was in the neighborhood. We have to get back to that.
Whitehaven is a very vibrant community.
I also have events myself. On Saturdays, I have a girls' yoga empowerment class where there are girls that are within the community where they come into the space and they're learning the yoga practice at an earlier age. I want people to realize that there are health benefits to the practice, not just saying that you can come and you can do a fancy pose, that's great, but the mindfulness of the practice. So just being able to educate people.
When we first got here, we noticed we had 7 movie theaters. So in talking with several churches and community activists, we found if we were to develop a performing arts center that could assist with community centers, church groups, even schools could do off-site performances here. So we decided to take 2 of the movie theaters and convert them to the Performing Arts Center. And we're gonna open up performances and just invite the community. 3 days before Elvis died, he was in this facility. As a matter of fact, he was next door in the movie theater and saw The Spy Who Loved Me. We learned that information by the Elvis Presley International Fan Club. In August every year, those same 300 to 400 Elvis fans come here at 11 o'clock p.m. They come through the back door to watch that movie, and they watch it 3 to 4 times. So they're very dedicated. They come, they do exactly what Elvis did. and everything is free. Popcorn, drinks, candy, everything, because everybody who saw the movie that night with Elvis didn't have to pay a dime.
Get involved with our schools, volunteer with our schools, you know. Again, I sit on the Whitehaven Empowerment Zone Leadership Council, and those are 6 schools that was placed under Dr. Hunter in Whitehaven High School to prevent them from being taken over by the state. Support our black businesses, you know, we take a lot of our money across the border to South Haven and the Goodman Road. And you're not only taking money, you know, out of Whitehaven, but you're taking money out of the city of Memphis. You know, get involved. You know, one of our 4 pillars of community development is civic engagement and civic development. So get involved, know who your elected officials are, and, you know, again, just looking out for you. As far as socially, just looking out for each other, you know, becoming a community again. You know, we just want to engage our community stakeholders, the 7 P's community stakeholders, you know, parents, partners, pastors, the police, politicians, principals, proprietors. Those are the stakeholders that we want to bring together to help with our 4 quality of life initiatives.
To build the economy here, we're going to have to all meet in the middle somewhere and find out and work together and iron out what needs to be ironed out. Because we are brilliant people. We can make it happen.
I just love the pride we have in our community. Again, just the name of our organization, Respect the Haven. You know, that's a mantra that has been in Whitehaven a long time.
Whitehaven has a very special place in my heart, and I'm just super excited to be within this community.
I'm just so glad that young people, you know, are still interested in Whitehaven. You know, we want to see young people, you know, go off to school, you know, but also come back and still contribute, because, you know, we need our young people back. You know, don't leave Whitehaven, come back.
Thank you.